Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're looking at the real richest people in the world. Whenever you think of rich people, you usually think of like Jeff Bezos, but actually there's people who are way richer than him, but you just don't know about them.
Hosni Mubarak ruled Egypt for almost 30 years as the president and military leader. He was renowned for his corruption and abuses of power.
Exactly, like a lot of these people are pretty corrupt, like they won't pay any income tax whatsoever. All their money is put in offshore accounts. It's quite irritating how they're able to get away with it and they can find loopholes, but actual hardworking people have to pay tax. Also guys, I spiked my hair up for the first time in a while. Do you like it or not?
Frequently serving lucrative government contracts to himself and his family. In fact, Egyptian citizens were so displeased with him that they began extensive protest in January 2011 and eventually forced his resignation.
Wait, so this was quite recent. This was literally only like over 10 years ago. Whenever you think of corruption, you probably think of like the 1980s. But corruption is still going on right now.
But before his political surrender and eventual death, Mubarak was one of the richest people on earth. His net worth was a staggering $70 billion.
And the majority of people probably did not know that. Obviously, that's going to be across like all of his like houses, money in the bank, offshore accounts, everything. But like a lot of these political leaders have so much money, especially in countries like Egypt, Russia, Middle Eastern countries. Like the rulers of them countries take a lot of the money that the country produce.
A 2011 report from The Guardian revealed that Mubarak had embezzled billions of dollars from the Egyptian people and foreign governments and stashed it in anonymous Swiss bank accounts.
Exactly, like they literally take the money and like hide it in offshore accounts usually. It's quite obvious why they do it, because they don't want to pay tax and they want the money to themselves. But like still, like millions of people in this country probably worked their ass off, paid taxes, and he's just taken billions of their like dollars, just like put it in offshore accounts, and he's paid zero tax as well.
Mubarak also owned billions of dollars worth of expensive property in the United Kingdom. These mansions were registered under different names, but they could all be traced back to the Egyptian despot. To avoid scrutiny, much of Mubarak's riches were passed on to his wife Suzanne Mubarak. But in 2014, their assets were frozen and a Cairo court convicted him and his sons of embezzling more than $17 million from the state.
Did that say 70 million or 70 billion? Either way, it's a lot of money. $70 million, what could you buy with that? A lot. It's honestly quite crazy how much money these people have on their hands. Like they have a lot, and they also do it usually in an illegal way.
The funds were earmarked for improvements to the presidential palace, but they were diverted to upgrade Mubarak's real estate abroad. Egypt's current president, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, still rules with an iron fist, but he has a much smaller fortune. His estimated net worth is only $1 million.
I mean, that's still a lot, but like, you might not know, he might have more money. He could be doing the exact same thing. Like, he could literally have money in offshore accounts. That's why you never really trust politicians. Like, obviously, if you want to trust them, trust them. But like, you have to keep in mind, the majority of them are corrupt and a lot of them lie. Also, the ones who seem like really good and like the true proper politicians are also corrupt as well. Like, they will do the exact same thing, just in like different ways.
Syria has been ruled by one man for most of the 21st century. Bashar al-Assad assumed the presidency in 2000 and has governed ever since. Despite Syria experiencing one of the most severe civil wars in modern history, al-Assad has allegedly enriched himself with a fortune of $122 billion.
Yet again, how does he get his hands on like that much money? It's so sad, because if you look at photos from Syria before the war, like it used to be such a beautiful place. Obviously, I don't know a lot about the war over there, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to get like the stuff wrong. But a lot of the countries that go through wars, like they were so beautiful beforehand. It genuinely breaks my heart that like they basically got completely destroyed. Okay, so as you can see in the screen right now, that was Syria before and after. Like it literally looks so beautiful before, and like now it just looks completely different. It's genuinely so sad, like some of the things happen in this world, but like how has he got his hands on that amount of money?
Humanitarian conditions in the country continue to deteriorate, but al-Assad is still on top. Al-Assad came from a prominent Syrian political family. His father rose through the ranks and eventually served as Syrian president in the 1970s. Originally, al-Assad wanted to work as a doctor. He completed his studies and was set to be a wealthy practitioner, but after the death of his older brother, he became the heir apparent for the presidency. He gained the support of the military and took charge of the Middle Eastern country when he was only 35 years old.
How long has he been like the leader? Whenever I hear stuff about him, I always hear bad things. It's never good things. I heard stuff that apparently used like chemical weapons on his own people. Yet again, these people are so corrupt. Like I don't understand how they stay in power. I mean, I do know like they fake the votes is quite obvious, because like people like him should not be in power.
It's unclear exactly where al-Assad got his money. It's possible that he inherited much of it as part of his political dynasty. But it's also possible that he gained his wealth through corruption and bribery.
I mean, it probably is through corruption. Let's be realistic, his country is completely falling apart. And he's got all this money. Like, I'm pretty sure he could put a lot of that money into the country and like help it. I don't know, like I genuinely don't like commenting stuff like that because I don't know much about it. All I know is that apparently he's not a good man.
His real estate portfolio alone is worth many millions of dollars. One Spanish mansion is worth $67 million, while another in France cost him just over $100 million.
He's literally got his own castle and like hundreds of $millions worth of houses, yet his people literally flee the country because they can't live there. It genuinely breaks my heart whenever I see like refugees. Like I don't even like calling them that. They're people, but they literally have to leave a country and flee it because like they can't live there.
As these assets appreciate in value, this Syrian dictator's net worth will continue to grow.
So while his net worth continues to grow, his people will continue to suffer, and it probably will continue to be like that for years.
Despite ruling one of the poorest countries on earth, dear leader Kim Jong-Un's net worth is estimated between $5 and $50 billion. That's because this dictator has full access to his entire country's assets, in addition to black market smuggling and cryptocurrency.
There's a lot of corrupt people in this world. He's probably the most corrupt. I genuinely feel bad for people who live in North Korea. Like, it is hell over there. It low-key annoys me whenever people in like America or the UK are like, oh, I hate living here, like it's such a bad country. Try living in a country like North Korea because it is hell. I heard a rumor that apparently they've all got like a photo of Kim Jong-Un in their house, and if it's like dusty, people will literally come in and kill you and all your bloodline. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it's crazy.
Officially, North Korea's GDP was $18 billion in 2019. Because Un rules with total authority, he can use 100% of this money for his own personal gain.
How is that allowed? Like, literally, how is that allowed? Also, North Korea, literally everyone is scared of him. If he doesn't like you, he can turn around and say bye-bye to your life and he'll literally kill you. There's like videos of him walking down streets and like all the soldiers and like people are crying, like basically praising him. It's quite crazy how like one man is so much power.
Kim Jong-Un is a man known for his lavish appetites, so it's perhaps no surprise that he has a fully equipped party island where he likes to entertain visitors.
I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest, I cannot see Kim Jong-Un being a party person. I swear every 6 months there's like a rumor that he's dead. Imagine he's like actually dead and they've just like made a clone of him so that like they can keep the money.
The North Korean dictator has tricked the coastal compound out with a 200-foot pull boat, a $7 million yacht, water slides, theme park rides, and a full football pitch.
So he's literally living in luxury while his people starve. Like, it's genuinely crazy. How is he allowed to get away with that? Literally every single country is corrupt in their own ways, but like his is like the most corrupt. Whenever he dies, who's gonna take over? Like, is it always gonna be a man or is it gonna be a woman one day? I hope like North Korea doesn't like fall apart, but like something happens where like they get rid of all them crazy rules that he put in place. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
It's the venue where former NBA star Dennis Rodman was entertained back in 2013 when he was invited to the totalitarian state.
It's quite crazy how he literally got into the country. It's really hard to get in and impossible to get out. People will literally run like for their life to get out of the country, and the majority of the time they're literally caught and killed.
International sanctions prevent North Korea from officially trading with most other countries on Earth. As a result, the Hermit Kingdom has turned to lucrative black market dealings like selling methamphetamine, counterfeit money, and weapons. All this capital goes directly into Kim Jong-un's coffers. According to International Business Times, he has at least 17 luxury palaces around the country, in addition to 100 luxury cars, a private jet, and a 100-foot yacht.
But why? Why does he need that? I'm gonna be completely honest, the man is really fat, so he's probably gonna die of like a heart attack or diabetes soon. I just feel so bad for the people in this country. Like, honestly, they're living in hell.
Hassan al-Bulkier is another controversial world leader who made a reputation for himself as a materialistic royal with a taste for the finer things.
If I am correct, this is the man who gets a haircut that costs literally £35,000. I think his barbers in England, it's this man or another man, they're all like close to each other. But like, I don't understand, like these people are so corrupt. How is he literally later?
The 75-year-old Sultan of Brunei has ruled since 1967. Brunei's economy is almost entirely based on crude oil exports. In fact, petroleum accounted for more than 90% of the country's GDP.
So basically because of oil, that's how he makes his money. How is oil made? Obviously it's like from the earth, isn't it? What happens if it runs out one day? Like, he's literally gonna have no money.
Conservative estimates place Bulkier's net worth around $20 billion, though many people guess the figure is much higher. He has the largest car collection on Earth, with over 7,000 vehicles.
7,000 vehicles? I'm sorry, what? I don't even know 7,000 people. 7,000 vehicles? You literally can't drive that. Like, he would get a new car every single day for like the next 17 years. Why does he need that amount of cars? Like, why? Wouldn't it be better to put that money into like the people of his country?
Most of which he has never even driven. The total value of this collection is well in excess of $5 billion.
So he's basically wasted $5 billion on cars that he's never gonna drive. Yet again, that could have been used to like help the poor people in his country. And usually the way these leaders act, the majority of the people who live in their country are poor and like the leaders are rich.
The Sultan's collection of Ferrari F40s, McLaren F1s and Rolls-Royce is particularly notable due to the rarity and value of the vehicles. The notoriously vain monarch is also renowned for his expensive haircuts.
Yep, this is the man who I thought it was. Basically, he employs somebody from England and pays him like £35,000 or like 13,000 for a haircut. Also, I've looked up this country and I can't go to it. It's illegal to be gay. I swear they literally kill gay people out there. Okay, so I basically looked it up here and it said, yeah, it's illegal. It's under Islamic Sharia law. So basically, if they want to, they can kill you for being gay.
He even had a stylist flown out from England for a total cost of $24,000 for a single haircut.
Exactly, like imagine getting 24 grand for a haircut. I mean, if I were his barber, I'd be pretty happy because he probably gets one every single month. You're literally making $250,000 off this man by just cutting his hair.
The Times reported that Bulkier flies out of his favourite barber from London, where he works at the Dorchester Hotel in Mayfair. He goes regularly, sometimes every 3 or 4 weeks. The Sultan flies him first class at a cost of about $12,000. Everything is paid for, hotel, luxury, food. It's a case of just keep signing, that's all.
So basically just sits there, cuts his hair and gets loads of money. I mean, he's literally living in luxury. Imagine getting basically a free trip to Asia every single month. Yet again, how is he able to do that?
Vladimir Putin has been a Russian head of state since 2008 and is undeniably one of the most powerful people in the world.
And now he has just invaded Ukraine. I wasn't going to put him in this video because of the whole situation that's happened over there. But I mean, everybody knows that he's probably the richest man in the world.
He got his start as an intelligence officer in the KGB and built a web of important allies in the Russian government. Since then, he has become synonymous with Russian politics, serving as the president since 2012. While some consider him to be despotic, he continues to have high approval ratings among Russian citizens.
I mean, let's be realistic. Are people actually voting for him? The majority of the time, like, the votes are obviously fake. Let's be realistic. These awful people are always in power and, like, people continually vote for them. I don't think people actually vote for them. I think they just, like, fake the votes.
Because of the shadowy nature of Russian economics, some even believe that he is the wealthiest man on the planet.
Exactly. Like, I don't even want to know how much he's worth. He's probably worth hundreds of billions, if not trillions. I think about a year ago I read an article where I thought Jeff Bezos was like the richest person. They turned around and said, nah, Vladimir Putin's got like a house that like costs £1 billion in like the middle of a forest, so he's probably worth like $1 trillion.
With a net worth in excess of $200 billion. In 2011, a Russian version of WikiLeaks posted a number of photos of Putin's secret mansion in the forest by the Black Sea.
Exactly, so he's got a big forest by the Black Sea. He's literally worth $200 billion and the house costs like $1 billion to make. Why has he got this amount of money? Like, why does he actually need the money? Would it not be better to put all of that money into the Russian economy? I mean, considering now everyone's basically said F you to Russia, he's probably gonna need to do that. Yet again, I feel bad for the people. Like, the people of these countries always suffer. These leaders, like, have so much money, so much power, and they just do nothing. They, like, create so much destruction. Honestly, I feel bad for the Russian people. Like, innocent people are gonna be living in hell over there now.
Many estimate the property to be worth almost $1 billion, making it one of the most expensive houses in the world. On top of his billion-dollar mansion, he reportedly has access to 20 different palaces and villas across the world.
And why does he need that? Like, who needs like 40 places to live? It's corruption. Like, it literally is corruption.
However, he must enter and exit them secretly lest the public discover his massive fortune. Putin clearly has a penchant for the finer things. One of those things appears to be a unique super yacht with a rather opaque existence. Although details surrounding Graceful's genesis remain sketchy, we do know some facts about the vessel.
Oh god, what are the facts gonna be? I mean, it's probably worth a lot of money. Yet again, whenever it comes to Russia and stuff like that, it is really sketchy. I know people are always like, oh, you can't trust the Russians. But now, like, the whole situation over there to do with them in Ukraine, you really can't trust them, can you? Like, you genuinely can.
Officially launched in 2013, Graceful displaces 2,500 tons, has a steel hull with an aluminum superstructure, features a bulbous bow, and is powered by a pair of 3,100 horsepower diesel engines.
Yet again, I don't know what that means at all. Like, that literally sounds like blabber to me. All I know is that he's got lots of money and a very expensive boat.
Supposedly, it can sleep 14 guests in 6 rooms, including one large owner's suite, 2 VIP staterooms, and another 3 guest cabins. Putin's most expensive yacht is worth $1.5 billion.
$1.5 billion, and why does he need that amount of money? Especially a yacht. So his yacht costs more than his house. Kim Kardashian's literally worth $1.8 billion, so his yacht is basically all of her money. I mean, to be fair, she has just bought a jet that costs like $100 million. But like, it's crazy how they have so much money.
The Queen of England has an official official net worth of around $500 million. Most of this comes in the form of rent on the royal family's massive real estate portfolio. But some people believe that Elizabeth II and the rest of the royal family have intentionally downplayed their assets.
I mean, yeah, let's be realistic, they probably have. The Queen of England is not worth 500 million, she's probably worth 500 billion. She is arguably the most famous and powerful woman in the world. Every single person knows who Queen Elizabeth is.
For instance, Buckingham Palace alone is valued in excess of $5 billion, more than 10 times the Queen's official net worth. According to sources, she earned $97.2 million in income in 2020, but the royal real estate portfolio is valued at $10 billion, and that doesn't count other assets like fine art and cars.
It is quite crazy how somebody's literally born into that lifestyle. Think of it, if her parents didn't have sex, she wouldn't be here. Imagine if I was born into like a royal household. I low-key wish I was born into like a really rich household, but then I'm also kind of happy that I don't, because like I live in a normal family, like a working family. Something about being rich would be boring. I'd much rather work for the money rather than being born into it.
The royal collection is the royal family's art collection, containing over 7,000 paintings, 40,000 watercolors and drawings, and 150,000 old master prints, as well as numerous artifacts, rare books, and the crown jewels.
Yet again, why do they need that much? Like, why do they need 7,000 paintings? Are these literally kept in Buckingham Palace? Like, I know they've got like loads of castles, but like, why do they need that much?
Saudi Arabia has the 18th highest GDP on earth, pulling in more than $780 billion in 2019 alone. Unlike other wealthy nations, the vast majority of this money is funneled into the pockets of the Saudi royal family. One man in particular benefits from this unjust economy: Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Yet again, born into wealth. Like, he's so lucky he was born in that family, because if he wasn't, he'd be a normal person. Yet again, these families have like so much money. It's quite crazy how like money that's brought into a country automatically goes into the pockets of people like him.
The Middle Eastern ruler only has an official net worth of $20 billion, but because he doesn't need to officially report his income, many people believe his fortune may approach $1 trillion.
$1 trillion? Oh my god. It would actually be really interesting if we could see how much these people earn. Like, they really should report their income, shouldn't they? I mean, it's probably best if they don't, because we'll realize how rich and corrupt they actually are.
Saudi Public Investment Fund, of which bin Salman is a majority stakeholder, is worth more than $450 billion. When factoring in other extravagances like mansions, cars, jets, yachts, and foreign currencies, bin Salman may secretly be the richest person on earth.
Anyways, guys, that was the end of the video. Apparently, he's the richest person on earth with a net worth of $1 trillion. If you had lots of money, what would you do? Honestly, I'd just buy a load of houses and like go on holidays. Anyways, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you're, press the red subscribe button, and yes, I'll see you all in my next video.